stop hiding it and to reevaluate it, and that rejecting those emotions that come up for myself is an attempt to cover up all those old wounds. So instead of saying, no, that's bad, I can't say that about myself, I go, okay, so I'm feeling this. Where did I feel this from? Oh, right. People used to say I had a fat ass when I walked down the hall in grammar school. Boys wouldn't date me because, I had rolls on my side. Okay, well, that may have been true, and so what? Their reactions don't define me. And just recognize it as a trigger, because just recognizing it alone, don't you think, is enough. Just saying to yourself, I'm not going to look in the mirror anymore and say that to myself. And you may still have those words go through your head, but you recognize it and you move on, kind of like meditation, if we've ever done that. You recognize that you're having thoughts, and you go, okay, I'm having a thought, put it away. I'm going to meditate, and you say, your mantra, whatever that is, penis, that's what I use as a mantra. I just feel that people often go from A to Z, and you have to do the whole alphabet in between. Otherwise, you're not going to take it in, I just got, somehow there was music in my head when I did that.
I don't think a lot of people recognize how pervasive what the outside world does in your mind and how you register yourself. For me, I'm multiracial, and I would be ashamed to tell people that I was part Asian, because Asian girls are supposed to be skinny. So telling people that, I was black and I was Asian, I was basically saying, but I'm a broken Asian, because I don't have the right body type. And I felt a lot of times people would try to justify saying bad things to me, because they're like, well, that's what everybody says. You're saying, well, it's true, Asian girls are supposed to be skinny. And then, I have cousins who are also 100% Asian, who are just as big as me, and they would say, they would have people tell them, you don't have a reason to exist because you're not pretty and you're not our ideal, which is, just cruel beyond belief. But people feel that they have every right to tell you things like this because your body isn't up to snuff. Same way, things happen where it goes beyond size, because we have colorism in different cultures, and we have ageism where you tell women, see an old man, hear a story, see an old woman, throw a rock, which is something I heard growing up in a Caribbean environment. Just, there wasn't that much value placed on older women because they weren't what society said is what is useful. So I think what you're saying with our primitive brain, and we file all these horrible negative things, and it just makes us unable to rationalize anything positive that we hear. Like you said, you'll hear, oh, you're smart, but I'm still fat. Or just like anybody would tell me a compliment, I always figured it was backhanded and they're really making fun of me.
It's an ulterior motive.
Yeah, there's always that ulterior motive. So I think once you recognize the messages you're getting as these are society's messages, and they don't necessarily need to be correct, and the connotation that they have don't necessarily have to be the same connotation that you're internalizing.
Yeah, thank you. One thing that really helped me was realizing how much is invested in making us ashamed of our bodies. All the media uses that. The shame makes us run out and buy makeup or new diet aids or a gym membership. And just the diet industry alone makes $36 billion with a B a year. That's a lot of money. They have a lot of reason to make us hate our body. And as long as they can make us hate our bodies, they have something to sell us. And that gave me something to kind of fight against when it seemed like it was everywhere and it was internal and external. It was like, wait a minute, they have an agenda here. It may not be conscious, it may not be malicious, but they have an agenda. It works for them because we have the shame and we run out. And they've said that most people, when they read a Cosmo magazine or any of the modern magazines, the women's magazines, their self-esteem dips 30%. So it's like they're telling us there's something wrong.
And it has the same effect for men's magazines.
Yes.
Men's health it's supposed to be about getting healthy, but they still
Yeah.
Photoshop muscles on guys that aren't
The
muscular enough.
six-pack abs.
Or how about
Yeah.
17 magazine did more to me in my formative years than I can even think of.
Yes.
You know? Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people are shamed often around weight and told, basically their voice is taken away because they're fat. And I just want to show a PSA that I did with Buck Angel. Okay. Oh, you can't hear it. Oh well. I don't know why it's not, oh, I know why. Sorry. I turned off the sound.
But you can look at the image and delicious image.
Sorry, I had my sound turned off because I was tweeting earlier. It's not long.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Bertoli from the Intimacy Dojo, and I'm here to share with you that you get to go out and have a life right now.
Can you hear it?
I'm a bigger girl. I thought for years, 14 years, I thought I had to fit what the magazines looked like before I could get out there and love people, before I could start dating. And those 14 years were spent really lonely, and I didn't get to connect. I held myself back. You don't have to hold yourself back. We get messages all the time that we have to look a certain way to be lovable in order to have sex, and that's not true. Our bodies work just fine the way they are. We get to enjoy them now, whatever they look like. A third of the country is technically, or by medical definition, overweight, and another third is obese. And a lot of those people are holding themselves back and waiting for their life to start. Don't get to the end of your life and realize that you didn't get to enjoy your body and the people around you that you really want to connect with. Get out there and start having a beautiful time. This public service announcement has been brought to you by Buck Angel Entertainment. Remember, own it, use it, or lose it.
Thank you.
I know.
It was so hard to shoot that. I was shaking the whole time. And when it went out, it had 10,000 views now, and just like, it was just important for me to get that message out because I was holding myself back for so long. And most of the comments that came in were really, really beautiful. But one of the things that I really noticed was the people that didn't want to hear about it, the people that were negative, almost always cited health concerns. So they were basically saying, we care about you. We want you to shut up. We're not fattest. We're just concerned about your health. And I was told my body didn't work just fine, that I was killing myself. And just so you know, I've had my medical stuff taken. I have great stats. I have, like, the doctors take my blood pressure 5 times because it's so low. It's, you know, there's nothing, health-wise, I'm really fit. They said that they would talk to Buck a lot, not to me. Almost like I didn't have a voice or I needed to be told what to do because I was fat. And they would quote famous celebrities, Rosie O'Donnell, who needed to lose weight. And I've noticed this several times. The more I talk about this, the more people come up to me and say, I'm really concerned about your health. And I appreciate concern. You know, it's great they care about me, but I don't want them to take my voice away.
There's this book called Health at Every Size.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read it, but I feel like it really helps you have arguments when people start giving that health reasoning.
Health at every
Yeah,
size.
I've read that book. It's,
No, I was gonna say, you don't have to give an argument. It's bullshit. They don't know you. They don't give a damn about you. It's just like, it's bullshit. It's like, we didn't, no arguments. It's bullshit. That's all.
well, I'm more in that group. I know, because for me, I was an exotic dancer, so while a lot of the time they'd be dancing and booked at clubs, it was a specialty night because it'd be for people who they only wanted to see bigger women, which, don't worry, if you want to make money off of sex, you can do it at any size. But I would have the guys that didn't know it was big girl night come up to me and it's like, you know, you do all these tricks and you seem really healthy, but if you could just lose weight, you'd be so much healthier. And I wanted to say, like, can you do all the stuff that I just did on that pole? I don't think so.
I can't do it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So a lot of times when people bring up but it's about your health, it's just the nicest way of saying, you need to shut up because you don't look the way I see healthy. And until you do, I'm going to invalidate your voice. I mean, I've had a college boyfriend who was a chain smoker, even though I was asthmatic when I was little. That's why I got into dance, because an active body, you deals with asthma a lot better. And he would come chain smoking into my dorm room saying, you need to lose weight because, you know, I'm concerned about your health, as he blows cigarette smoke in my face. So really a lot of times it's a shield, because if you look at these are some of the comments that people were making, these aren't positive comments. Somebody who cares about your health isn't going to try to shame you into shaping your body into what is physically better instead of what is internally better.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything you
No,
want to add?
no, that was well said.
So perceptions of others do influence us. One of the things I said earlier is I really like distinguishing internal versus external shame. When they're all lumped together, it becomes this massive block that we can't get past. And when we start distinguishing it, we don't really have control. I don't have control about what all of you are thinking. I can offer information, I can educate, I can share my perspective, but you think what you think and you say what you think, what you're going to say. But I can change how I receive it, and I have power there. So as soon as you can start distinguishing how you're carrying these messages, because we do have a choice. If someone tells me I'm fat now, it doesn't resonate as much with the shame that I used to carry. In the past, I would hear, if someone said fat, I thought it was horrible.
But now it's just a description.
It's
and
a word.
It's
I have
subjective.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to reclaim that word. It's a descriptive word.
Yeah, I think it's